Hello and welcome to practice. This is a slow strength class, so simple movements but working slowly in order that you can really think about what we're trying to engage and control. You need two small weights, and if you don't have small weights, they could be a tin or a jar or a water bottle. There's small weights though, like 0.5 to 2. And then also one heavyish weight, so I have 8 kilograms. Probably anything from 4 to 12, depending how strong you're feeling. And then also a tea towel. So if you need to pause this now, pause it, run and get a tea towel, because that's a funny request. And if you don't have a tea towel, but you happen to have sliders, then that's actually what we really need. But tea towels just help you improvise. Great. So come and lie down on your back, because we're just going to start with some really slow engagement. So I just want you to rest the arms down by the side, tuck the tailbone and pull the waist in, settle the shoulders down, take a big breath and exhale. Use that exhale to draw the navel into the spine. Big breath in, big breath out, draw the navel in, big breath and draw in. One more and we'll hold the waist in on this one. So we're still allowing a breath, but we're just keeping some of that control pulling down and in. I want you to push your heels into the floor. You'll see my toes are lifted. So I'm just driving down into the heel. Really slowly, I'm going to take my hips up towards the sky, pushing down into the heels, squeezing the backs of the legs, engaging through my glutes, and then slowly lowering down. Not necessarily so much a roll down like we normally do. That helps us control the movement through the spine, which is great, but not really the intention here. The intention here is to push down into the heels. You can let the hips lift in one motion, trying to engage the backs of the legs and really squeeze and find that strength in the glutes. We're going low down and back up. Pushing into the heels, lifting and squeezing through the hips. That's 3, we've got 7 more. This pace, you might be a little bit quicker or a little bit slower than me. As long as you're not rushing the movements and you feel like you can control, find that squeeze at the top and slowly lower down. Lift all the way up. Squeeze, engage. Slowly lower down. There's a lot to be said for time under tension when it comes to building strength. That might be the time that you do an exercise, how much you repeat it, or how long you are under stress and tension of a weight or of resistance. So that's why we're slowing things down today, increasing that time under tension to give us better results. That's 3 to go. 2, squeeze at the top, last one, and then lower down. Rest your hips, lift your feet off the floor, so now your shins are parallel, knees above the hips. You probably recognise this. Take your arms up to the sky, palms face back down towards the knees. So slow movement. So for some of you, your lower back's going to lift. If that's what happens, really focus on pulling your belly in and don't go so far out with the legs. So take your right leg out, left arm back, and bring them back in. Left leg out, right arm back, and bring them back in. Now imagine when you come back in, you create this rectangle, so you don't come in too close. You hold that rectangle, opposite arm, opposite leg, and bring it back in. Opposite arm, opposite leg, bring it back in to that rectangle, 4 more to each side. Nice and slow and controlled. You'll feel how much harder it is to slow it down. Last 2. And last one. Okay, hug the knees into the chest. Rock yourself up. So one shin over the other, bring it all the way up. We're coming up to standing, and you need both your small weights to hand and your bigger weight. Now, if your bigger weight is a kettlebell, it's super easy to do this motion with. If it's two small weights, so just for example, say these were slightly heavier and I was using two, do the same, just hold on to them, almost let the arms be pulled down. You'll see I'm trying to keep a flat back and I'm trying to pull my waist in. So you're just leaning forwards until you feel tension on the hamstrings. There's a softness to my knee. And then as you stand up tall, you squeeze the glutes at the top. So you try and drive the hips forwards. So I'm going to go with my kettlebell. So you take hold of the weight, feet push down, belly button pulls in, arms are long. Notice I'm not bending the elbows, the arms stay long. Push into the feet, stand tall, squeeze the glutes at the top, lean forwards, pivot from the hips. Find the tension in the hamstrings and then pull back up. That tension is your marker for coming back up. Find the tension, pull the waist in, squeeze the glutes, rise to stand. Pivot forwards, squeeze the glutes, rise to stand. Find that contraction, nice and slow, not rushing. We go for 5. Squeeze at the top. 4. Spine nice and long, almost like you're trying to push your hips back behind you. 3. Nice flat spine, hips drive back. 2. Last one. And lift up. Then rest that weight down. We're going to take your weights out to the side. So stand with your feet about hip width. I hope this doesn't cut out my head. Take your arms out to the side, nice and slowly. Hold them there. Slowly bring back down and in. Almost as if you're lifting them against the resistance of water. And slowly back down and in. So I'm going to feel like too much to start with. But trust me, it will build up. We're going slowly out and slowly back in. So we're not rushing. Slowly out. Almost a moment to hold and pause. Slowly back in. Now you can start to think about the rest of your posture as well. So lifting through the crown of the head. Pulling in around the waist, pushing down into the feet. I always think a nice way to think about pulling in around the waist and supporting the back is if like me, you have high-waisted yoga trousers on, you can think about pulling your waist in, away from the waistband of the trousers. We keep going for 8. Nice and slow. Lower. 7. Nice and slow. 6. If you have heavier weights, you'll really start to feel this. But we're not trying to do this huge, big, powerful movement. We're trying to slowly build strength and control. 5. 4. To be honest, even if you didn't have weights, with intention, you could probably feel this. 2. And 1. And then you're going to bring the weights down by the side. I'm just going to change so you can better see me. Waist is still pulling in, feet still pushing down. I'm going to take the arms up and out in front of me until the weights are in line with my shoulders, and then slowly lower down. See, I've got softness in my knees just so I don't lock the knees out and hyperextend into my back. Because when we lock the knees out, we just stand in a bit of a lazy way. Lift up and out. Slowly bring it down. Lift up and out. Slowly bring it down. Lift up and away. Slowly bring it down. Pull the belly in. Lift up and away. Lower down. 7, lower, 6, lower, 5, lower, 4, an element of control as well, 3, and 2, and 1. Last one, we're holding them out. Now bend a little more into the knees just so you can pull the waist in. We're holding here for 10, 9, 8, keep breathing, lift the chest, lift the crown of the head, 7, 6, 5, shoulders down so they're not squashing the ears, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly lower. Pop them to the side and we go back to our deadlift motion. So you take your slightly heavier weight, pushing down into the feet, pulling the waist in, rise to stand, squeeze the glutes, chest forwards, hips back, rise to stand, squeeze the glutes, chest forward, hips back. My arms are just a heavy weight here. I'm not bending the elbows, I'm not stressing the shoulders. And rise to stand, find that squeeze at the top. We're going for 10, rise and squeeze, 9, nice and slow and controlled, 8, lift and engage, 7, engage, 6, engage, 5, might miss one out there, 4, that's good luck for you, 3, nice and slow, 2, lift all the way up, engage, last one, and release. Place your weight down, and then similar exercise, but we're just going to throw our balance now. So I'm just on my left foot, my right toe is tapping the floor, so I'm not completely lifting that leg off, but there's just the very lightest of touch. I'm going to slowly take my arms out to the side. Notice how much more goes on through the body by minimising that contact with the right foot. Lift up and out, slowly lower. We've got 10 each side, lift up and out, that's 3, slowly lower. And again, I've got a little bend in that left knee, so I'm not just locking it out. And lower, that's 4, 5, 6, nice and slow, 5, I nearly went then, 4, pull the waist in, push down into that left foot, 3, 2, and last one before we change the feet. So bring the weights down, transfer your weight into your right leg, light touch with the left foot, we go out. You'll probably find you have a side that isn't so easy to balance on as well. That's okay, perfectly normal. Maybe next time if you notice one side is way off with the balance, you do more on the side that struggles and try and build up the strength on that side. 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't need to be crazy amount of weight to build strength. We're not bodybuilding or powerlifting. Just trying to build enough strength so our joints stay strong and healthy. 3. I mean, you might be a powerlifter or a bodybuilder, but I doubt it. 2. And 1. Release them down, and then I'll just switch again so you can see me better. So I'm planting on the left leg. I'm going to just lift my right toes. It's a light touch. Again, I'm bending that knee. When you lock out, I tend to hyperextend, but you might be okay. You're going to take the arms up and out in front of you. Slowly bring them down. By bending that front knee as well, it means there's some proprioception and work around my left hip and left knee. So it's not just upper body. Brings in a bit more core balance, control. 4, 5, 6, pull the waist in. 7, just looking directly out in front of you. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, last one. I'm going to lower it down, switch it over, so plant your right foot, bend your right knee, light touch with the left toes. Inhale, lift away. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And for you, balancing on one foot with the light touch might be too much. You might do 3 or 4 and then decide to go back to 2 feet. Of course, that's perfectly fine. Just remember how many you could do before you swapped, and then next time you come back, you try and improve that. Going up and away, bringing it down. Up and away, bringing it down. 4, 5. Lower. 4. Lower. 3. 2. Last one. And bring it down. Place those weights to the side. And we're going to change the exercises slightly. So you'll have your weight, and this time you're going to hold your weight in your hands. I personally like to squat with my feet a little bit turned out, but you do what works best for you. If you're really comfortable with your feet facing forwards, then stay there. So I turn them slightly out. I'm going to sit down as if I'm sitting all the way back to a chair. And the moment I touch the chair, I slowly stand back up. And in doing so, squeeze your glutes to the top. So we lower down, slowly stand up. So that's the first part of the exercise. You can just rest that down a moment. Second part is where the tea towel comes into play, or your sliders. So I'm placing my left foot flat on my mat. You might not be using a mat. My right foot is going to go on the tea towel, and I'm going to slide back into a lunge, and then I slowly pull that leg back in, and there's resistance as you go out and come back in. So you will feel that one, trust me. I know tea towel may look deceiving, but you will feel it. So we're going to go squats and then to each side. So we hold the weight in our chest, and we're going to sit down and slowly stand up, squeezing the glutes at the top, lowering down, slowly standing, lowering down, slowly standing. So roughly the line of my spine at the bottom of that squat will be parallel to my shins. So if I was to hold it there, my spine is parallel to the shins, there or thereabouts. So there's a slight tilt forwards as the knees go forwards and the hips go down. 5, 4, 3, 2, really push into the feet. Last one. Rise. That weight can go down into the middle of your mat, so you're going to need it for the next part of this little circuit. Left foot is planted, right foot on the tea towel. I like to hold my hands in front of me, I don't know why, but I feel like I need somewhere to put them. I'm going to slide that right leg back. I'm in a low lunge, and then I'll pull all the way up to standing. Slide back, both knees bend, pull all the way up to standing. 7, 6, excuse the noise, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then in a minute it gets a little bit harder. 1, stay low in that front thigh, slide that right knee in, slide the right knee out, slide in, slide out. You maintain that bend in the left knee. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. And that left leg should be awake. You're going to take your slider or your tea towel to the other side of your mat. Hopefully I've planned this okay so I won't hit my head. Your left toe's now on there. Your right foot is planted. So we go down into a lunge, lift back up, both legs straight, down into a lunge, lift back up, down into the lunge, lift back up. As you lift back up, think about driving into that right foot. Take it back, drive into the right foot. 5, drive, 4, drive, 3, drive, 2, and then on this last one, we stay there, loaded the right knee, hands to the hips or in front of you, slide the left knee in, slide the left knee out, slide in, slide out. We maintain that bend in this right leg. You're going to feel it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back. Ooh, shake that leg up. I might not use my tea towel on the next one just so you can hear me better, but I'll cue so you'll know where to use it. Then we go. Feet hip width, tilted at the hip. So again, I try and maintain a nice flat spine. Take just one hand to the weight, the heavier weight, right arm out to the side if you grab with your left. We row in. Notice how I keep my spine straight. Slowly lower out. Row in. Slowly lower out. 4 more. Slowly lower. Pull the navel into the spine. 2. Last one. Swap. So holding with your right hand, taking the left arm out, slowly row in and out. Pull the belly button in, slowly row. Elbow into the side of the body. 3, 4, 2 more, 5, and 6. Release, release. Stand, shake it out. I feel very warm. Okay, we can do that circuit again. So you take your weight and we start holding onto the weight for our squat. So you're going to sit down nice and slow, push into the feet, squeeze the glutes as you rise up, take it down nice and slow, squeeze the glutes as you rise up. 8, lift and engage. 7, squeeze. 6, squeeze. Try not to let the shoulders be rounded forwards. If that means you don't use the weight, and that helps you keep your chest more open, just work on a body weight squat. As I said, it doesn't have to be huge, big weights. 4, 3, 2, 1. Place that down. So now, just so there's no background sound, I'm not going to use my slider, my tea towel, but you can. I'll try this anyway. So bending into the left knee, so I'm just going to slide that right leg back, stand tall, slide back into a lunge, stand tall. So I'm not quite sliding, I'm cheating a little bit, but I just don't want you to have all the background side. Stand, slide, stand. We go 4, slide it back in, 3, slide it back in, 2, slide it back in. Last one, stay here, loading that front left leg. Slide the right knee in, slide the right knee out. Slide the knee in, slide out. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up, shake your legs out. Plant your right foot, you might need more of a wriggle than that. Plant your right foot, so we go back with both legs bend, stand up tall, sliding back, stand up tall, sliding back, stand up tall, 6, slide back in, 5, slide back in, 4, slide in, 3, slide in, 2, slide in, last one, take it back, hold it there, this right leg stays bent, slide the left knee in, slide the left knee out, slide in, slide out, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand. Shake it out. And then we are stood with our feet hip width apart, hinging at the hips, taking the weight, and take your right arm out, left hand holds the weight. We row in slow. 1, slowly lower. 2, slowly lower. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Switch. This is your last set of exercises. 6, 5, 4, nice and slow. 3, 2, 1. Place your weight down, come to all fours. So I just want you to have a nice stretch out. So open your chest, look forwards, round through the spine. Open your chest, look forwards, round through your spine. Step your left foot forwards. Now for most of you, rest your hands on your thigh and come forwards into a stretch through that right hip. For most of you, these strength classes are new, so I feel like I've done plenty. Hopefully you do too. If you do want to do more, just pause it and repeat the exercises. But I feel like I'm all enough, so I hope you do as well. And then take the hands down, step your left knee back, bring your right foot forwards, rise up. Both hands onto your right thigh and just come forwards into that left hip. Breathe. Exhale. Big breath. Exhale. And then come back. Place both knees down, just sit back, rest your hands onto your thighs, close the eyes. And just take a couple of deep breaths. Just soften your shoulders down, lifting through the crown of the head. Hopefully from doing that strength work, you do feel like you've pulled back through the shoulders, down the erector spinae, the big muscles that run the length of the back. Hold your chest a bit wider, collarbones a bit longer, crown of the head taller. And all of that is lifting up and opening the chest, and in turn taking pressure off the lower back. It's all connected. Bring the hands into prayer heart center. Thank yourself for a slow but strong practice, and I will see you in our next class.